One glimpse will show you now, baby, what the music can do.
I've played guitar for more than 40 years, and today I'm going to show you how to play a Billy Squire classic from 1981, Lonely is the Night.
And your mind is not your own. Lonely is the night when there's no one left to call. You feel the time is right. Say the writing's on the wall. It's a hard time to fight when the walls are closing in.
Good morning, and thank you for stopping by to play some guitar with us here on the couch. Boy, do we have a good one for you today. In 1981, Billy Squire's second solo album, Don't Say No, took rock radio by storm. Its guitar-driven classic rock tones, tastefully sprinkled with 80s synth pop, produced 4 huge radio hits. From 1981 to 1984, Squire was on top of the world as an arena headliner. Professional missteps, however, would take the rock star from hero to zero in less than a year. But now, 40 years later, Billy Squire finds himself somewhat the rock and roll elder statesman. Stick with me till after the lesson. We'll talk more about the man, his music, and a whole lot more. For now, let's jump right in and learn that intro riff that begs to be turned up the minute you hear it. Our song is in standard tuning, and what an awesome intro riff for us to learn today. Couple ways you can start it out. You can either start it with a hammer-on or a slide from the 2nd to the 4th fret of the G string. For me, it's more comfortable in context with the rest of the riff if I play it as a slide. But however it's most comfortable and however it sounds best to your ear is what's going to be important. Then we're going to play the B and the E open. A little bit of nuance here. There's a little bit of a pause, and then he hits the E, the open E string, a second time before he goes into the next little section. So it's... And that little tail there is the 2nd and the 1st fret of the G string. I'm pulling off from 2 to 1. I'm going to do that twice. 2 on the D, and then the open E. So that's what we have so far. The next one's going to start out the same. But that's where it ends. It's just a pull off from 2 to 1 and then back to 2. And when we get to that 2, we're going to do some vibrato too. Now we start it again the same way. Same as the first so far, but now we're going to go. So that's a hammer on from 2 to 4 on the A string and then 2 on the D. And then we have this. Slide up or hammer on. Either way, I prefer the slides from 4 to 5 on the A. and then we're hitting the open D. Do that twice, and then back to 4, and then 2, all on the A, open E, and we're going to hit those B and E strings open, and that's the end of the opening riff. So the whole thing real slow is this. Then that kicks off our verse, and we'll talk about that right after this. BB and I want to thank you for watching today. We appreciate you so much. If you like what we're doing, I'll ask that you click the thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel if you've not done that yet. Your likes, shares, and comments help the channel to grow. If you care to leave a tip in any amount, there is a link to our Buy Me a Coffee page in the description. It's like a hassle-free digital tip jar. If you need a new set of strings, or if you like information on any of the gear that we use here on the channel, you'll also find some Amazon affiliate links there. Following those links through to make a purchase will result in our earning a small commission at no extra cost to you. Thanks again so much for watching. Thanks for your support. Let's jump right back in and learn the verse to our song. Next up, we have the main verse riff that kind of follows along with the lyrics. The lonely is the night, and we're going to play the guitar kind of the way that sounds. So it's lonely is the night, right? So it starts out on 9, and we're just going to play a triad here. We're not really going to play the full bar chord, but we're just playing strings 4, 3, and 2. So your D string, your G string, and your B string. We're going to play that at 9 and at 7. So it's 2 at 9, 1 at 7, and then we go back to 9 for 2 more. And then the next time it's 2, 1 on 7, and we go down all the way to the 2nd fret, still with that triad. But now if we want to add in the A string to try and get a little bit more of that power chord sound. And that's the tail on it. That's the A string open, and then we're going to go to the 4th fret of the D string. So we're still kind of playing the whole chord there, but we're doing pull-offs on the D string from the 4th fret to the 2nd fret while the rest of it's still sounding. Now as the song goes on, we can also add in our middle finger up here on the 3rd fret of the B string. And it sounds more like that later in the song, but at least here for right now, just that D string is kind of what I'm hearing. So here in these first ones, we're stopping when we get back to 9. Lonely is the night, and we stop. And then I do a little up and down chukka before I get going again. After we do that 4 times, now we're going to do the actual full bar chord. So my index finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the A string, and then I'm barring the 9th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And then it holds it instead of just stopping, a little legato or staccato stop there. We're gonna hang on it and slide it down. After you slide down, you come back, and so the end is the same, but we're just going to use that full bar chord. It does without the slide, where we stop, it does that 4 times, and then when we go to the full bar chord and we do the slide down, we're going to cycle through that complete go around 6 more times. When we get to the 6th time, We don't do the slide, we stop it. And that's going to take us into our first chorus. So let me go through the chords here on the chorus. It's going to start out with a B bar chord. We're going to play it a couple times. Then we go to an A, back to the B, and then it just plays an E power chord here. So it's kind of like an E minor, but I'm just playing the open E string, second fret of the A string and the D string. B to an A. For the A, I'm playing the A string, and I'm barring the second fret of the D, G, and B strings. Back to the B, and then the E power chord. So it goes through that. Those four chords are actually three chords. The B to the A to the B to the E. Goes through that 2 times, and then it starts a new progression. It's going to be a D to a C5. He's playing it like a C9, but what I'm doing, my ring finger is going to be on the B string at the 3rd fret. Middle finger is going to be on the 3rd fret of the A string, but I'm also leaning it over. So the pad of this finger is actually stopping the D string. I'm blocking the D string. So it's a C, like a C9 would be that, but I'm taking that note out of it. So it just sounds more powerful. So D to the C power chord, to a G, or back to the D, and then we end with the G. Same thing. I'm going to block with the pad of this finger. I'm going to block the A string, but I'm fretting the 3rd fret now of the E string. Does that twice. After the second time, you go to an E, but it's an interesting E. We are going to play the open E string, the 2nd fret of the A and the D string. My ring finger is on the 4th fret of the G string, and then my pinky is on the 5th fret of the B. And I am not playing the high E. So again, a good powerful E chord. E sus, I think. I'll have to look that one up. If you can't form that quick enough and you just want to play a regular E major chord there, that would suffice. So again, your chorus is going to be Then, coming out of that, we're going to go right back into that first, but we're going to add an extra up, down into it. It's going to be, so down, up, down, up, down. So it's going to go 2 times there like that, and then we're going to go back to the power chord. We're going to do it with the power chord a total of 4 times. Then we're going to go back to our chorus again. We're going to go through those same progressions, the B to the A to the B to the E. We do cycle through that 2 times, and then the D to the C5 to the G5. We're going to cycle through that 2 times, and then we're going to hit the E, whether we do that big E sus or at least an E major chord, either way. The big, that's the preferential one. After we've gotten through that second time of the chorus, we come into a bridge. The bridge is basically just an E bar chord right here, but also playing this open E string. And he's going to just do that, and then he sings a little bit. That's the somebody's watching you, baby. Show them what you can do. Nobody's stopping you, baby, from making it 2. It goes through all those. After it gets through that, we're going to go into the guitar solo, but I'm going to show you first how the rhythm plays on the guitar solo. The rhythm's going to be... So, we've just done this E chord here. We got through that whole little bridge section. We go right into... So I'm just playing, it's just an E major chord there, but I'm playing open, I'm playing the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings, or maybe even just the 5th and the 4th strings. That sounds better, the A and the D. And then I come down with that full E open, just an open E major chord. So I do it one time like that. The second time I do it, I'm going to end on an A. So I switch to the A, then I go back to the E. And then we go to a D bar chord to an A bar chord. Now you could go the D to the A, and again there are 2 guitars playing this song, so that could be what one of the guitars do. To my ear, it sounds best going up here. So at the same time that starts, the guitar solo starts, and it starts like this. So my pinky is on the 15th fret of the B string. My ring finger is on the 14th fret of the G string. I'm using these 2 fingers also on the G string just for strength to help me bend. And this little piggy is staying kind of set right there while I bend up the G string. Now if I hit this D or the E that's open or whatever, that's okay, because I think this should sound big and loud and dirty. Does it 2 times, and then we go to this trill. That's the D string, and we're just hammering on and pulling off at the 2nd fret real quick. So I'm going to play it open, then I'm going to hammer on, and as I pull down on it, I'm going to pull back off. Right, so they're starting real slow. It goes through a full measure of that, and then we have, that's our next lick. That's a slide up to 7 on the E string, and then I'm going to go to 5 on the A, back to the E, back to the A, back to the E. Then I go up to 5 on the D string, and then 7 on the A. When I get to this note, the 5th fret of the D string, there's a little bit of a bend there as well. The second time, I don't do the first part twice. So the first time around, you got this little bounce back and forth. The second time, I only do that once. So that is that lick. The next lick is this. So that is just 5 on the A to 7 on the A, 5 to 7 on the D, 9 on the D, 7 on the G, and then we go to 9 on the G string, but we're going to bend it up real big. And it even does like a partial come back down and then a bend up. Then we're going to go up here to 14 on the G string. We're going to bend it up and we're going to play 12 on the B and the E and then back to the B. So there's 14, 12, 12, 12. We do it again, but this time after we get to that second 12 on the B, we're going to get 14 on the E, back to 12 on the B, 12 on the E, 12 on the B. Now we're going to do the whole thing again to there, and then we're going to bend 15 up. And after we come down from that bend, we're going to hit 15 on the B, 12 on the E, 12 on the B. So that whole thing should sound something like this. Then we're going to go down here to 15 on the B, and we're going to go to 17 on the E, and we're going to bend it up 3 times. Then 15 on the E, then 19 on the E, bend up 1 big time. When it comes down, we're going to go 19, 18, 17, 15. And then 17, 15. And then down here, 17 to 15 on the B. Back to 17 on the B twice. Then we go back to another chorus. Go through that same cycle, the same progressions as we did in the first 2 choruses for the 3rd chorus. There is one other quick little double stop lick, it's kind of a signature lick in the song that I wanted to show y'all. It falls, so you've got the guitar solo, and then we've got the chorus after the guitar solo, and then we kick into the... It's going to do that twice before the rhythm changes up, and the second time it does it, you have this. Then we have this little double stop. So that's a slide up on the B and the G string up to the 13th fret on the G and the 12th fret on the B. And then we're going to go down a step and hit the same shape. And then we're going to hit both on the 9s. So it's 13 on the G, 12 on the B, 11 on the G, 10 on the B, and then 9s both together. So again. And that's when our rhythm changes up. So there's just an extra from the D to the E chord there, because before we were doing right there and then we would slide away or stop. This one, and then back to the D, back to the E, and then we come down here like always. And that's how the song fades out. That's the end of the song. Thanks so much for watching. Billy Squire spent a lifetime in music with 4 years at the very peak. Billy's parents enrolled him in piano lessons at the age of 8. After a couple years, he wanted to quit, but agreed to continue with financial incentive from his grandfather. He bought his first guitar and started his first band at the age of 14. After seeing Cream perform in a club in Boston, Squire started taking music more seriously, and by 18, his band was performing at the same club. By his mid-20s, Billy had his first taste of the music business, and in 1975, he would sign his first record contract as guitarist and frontman for the band Piper. Circus Magazine called Piper's first record the greatest debut album of any American rock band. In 1977, they served as the opening act for Kiss and even opened 2 sold-out nights at Madison Square Garden in New York City. By 1979, the band had broken up and Billy signed his first solo contract with Capitol Records. His first album, 1980's The Tale of the Tape, featured 2 singles, You Should Be High Love and The Big Beat, of which both saw moderate radio airplay. Lead guitar on The Tale of the Tape was played by Bruce Kulick, who would go on to join Kiss from 1984 to 1996. Billy then reached out to Queen guitarist Brian May and asked him to produce his next album. May wasn't available but suggested Reinhold Mack, who'd produced Queen's successful 1980 release The Game, an album that produced 4 big hits for that band. Billy's second solo album, Don't Say No, was released in April of 1981. It too would produce 4 big hits and rocket Billy Squire to worldwide fame. You know what else happened in 1981? MTV. If you're my age, you know just how big of a deal that was. Billy Squire's simple concert footage song videos would serve to elevate his career even higher until it nearly destroyed it. Squire's next 2 albums, Emotions in Motion and Signs of Life, would also garner radio airtime and produce several more big hit songs. Each album, however, progressed a little farther away from that big rock guitar sound and moved further towards a softer 80s pop style. Things took a very bad turn for Billy when a director was hired to make the video for the single Rock Me Tonight. Said director was an experienced choreographer, and his previous work included the film Dirty Dancing and work on kids shows for Disney. Probably not the best fit. His girlfriend at the time is reported to have told Billy that the video was awful. She wasn't the only one that felt that way. The book I Want My MTV listed Rock Me Tonight as the worst rock video of all time. It's been reported that after that video started airing, people just stopped coming to Billy's concerts. Squire fired his managers and sued the video director for misleading him, but the damage was already done. Signs of Life would be Billy's last platinum album. His 1996 release, Enough Is Enough, sold only 300,000 copies, and tour plans to support it were canceled. Billy released subsequent albums in '89, '91, and in 1993, his album Tell the Truth sold only 37,000 copies. In 1998, he independently released his final album, Happy Blue, a stripped-down acoustic blues record with a single guitar and no overdubs. Many people have wondered what happened to Billy Squire, and while to some it may appear that he disappeared from the limelight due to mismanagement and negligence, a closer look at Billy's silent years really tells a better story. The thing to remember is that for those 4 short years, Billy had 11 songs that were on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. In those 4 years, he sold 6 million albums. In the years that followed, his songs have been licensed for films, commercials, and video games. Hip-hop artists like Eminem and Jay-Z have sampled songs like The Stroke and The Big Beat, resulting in millions of dollars in licensing and royalties. Squire has been a prolific collaborator and has written and performed with many legendary artists from various genres, including touring as a member of Ringo Starr's all-star band. For the past 17 years, Squire has been a volunteer for the Central Park Conservancy, and he personally is responsible for maintaining 20 acres within the park. He's been married to his wife Nicole since 2002 and has been recently called one of the greatest singer-songwriters in rock history. In preparing for this video, that's something that I really came to appreciate. Billy really had it all. He is a very, very good guitarist. His singing voice is amazing. He wrote great rock songs and his lyrics are intelligent and thought-provoking. As for our song today, Lonely Is the Night has jokingly and lovingly been called the greatest single Led Zeppelin ever wrote. Comparisons have been drawn to both Nobody's Fault But Mine and Good Times, Bad Times. Another interesting note is that of the 4 hit songs on Don't Say No, Lonely Is the Night was never released as a single. It turned out to be a surprise radio favorite and can readily be heard on classic rock radio stations across the nation to this very day. There's also been substantial fan discussion about the song's meaning. At first glance, the lyrics seem random, and some have surmised that it's lamenting the isolation of a rock star on tour. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I try to look at things from a spiritual point of view in light of eternity and through the lens of God's Word. From the very first verse talking about demons coming to light and a person's mind not being their own, it reminds me of so many verses in Scripture that reference the supernatural. You may not realize it, but the Bible explains in great detail that we live in a supernatural world and that there is an unseen realm functioning right alongside our own. It tells us that we battle not against men, but that our fight is with powers and principalities, rulers of darkness and spiritual wickedness in high places. It's a battle that takes place to this very day, and them that are lost are blinded by the little g god of this world. There are so many distractions in our world, aren't there? And we've recently seen some demons coming to light, haven't we, with the information that's been released implementing people we know to be stars, people we may have looked up to or maybe even idolized. The Bible has a lot to say about the stars being cast to earth and also about idols. It talks about the mighty men, the men of renown, and about a time when all that is hidden being brought to light. Even the last line in the first verse says the writings on the wall, and that saying comes directly from a supernatural story in the Bible. I'm here to tell you, we live in a supernatural world, and as I do every week, I surely would encourage you to pick Jesus. I'd encourage you to seek Him out with all of your heart. There is so much in this song that we could relate to Scripture that we could make an entire video about just that. But let's consider just the final verse. No more sleeping, no more wasting our time. Scripture tells us that life is a vapor, here today and gone in an instant. Eternity is forever, a time so vast that we as humans have a hard time wrapping our minds around the concept. Our time here is very, very short, and none of us are guaranteed even another wake up. Today is the acceptable day of salvation. If you've not gotten things right, if you've not prepared for your eternity, the wise decision is to do that now. Even if you have questions or you just don't know, now is the time to figure it out. Most people worry about the retirement more than they do considering where and how they'll be spending eternity, and if you think about it, that just doesn't make good sense, does it? Thanks so much for your time and for your support. I really do appreciate every single one of you, and I do hope to see you back again soon, right here on the couch.